Hang on to your teddy. It's Nightmare on Elm Street, and guess who's playing Freddy? And hey guys, Steve-O here for Movies and TVs on the ball. And this year, or last year, marks the 20th, actually 22nd and 21st anniversary of both Freddy versus Jason on the top and Alien versus Predator on the bottom. I think they came out in the same 2 years. And these films were what I liked about these films is that they pretty much encapsulate both the 80s slasher films when it comes to Freddy versus Jason, and both the 80s sci-fi films when it comes to Predator and Alien. And both these films, I feel like they focused a little bit too much on the characters in the scenes, especially Freddy and Jason, because I think in Freddy vs. Jason, you're pretty much waiting for Freddy to face Jason. And in Alien vs. Predator, they spend probably 30 minutes of the film talking, basically having the character, setting up the characters. But what I did like about these films were when we finally got to the battle, they were amazing. I'll start with Alien versus Predator. We got to see, I think, the Predator swing the alien into a brick wall. And the battle was pretty cool because I think it really brought two of the great sci-fi characters of the 80s and 90s in, having them face off, which, if you think about it, looking at it now, it's 20 years later, it's kind of looking at it and going, how cool is it that we got to see both an alien and a predator face off each other in a movie? Not just one movie, in two movies. And what I also liked is that I think in Predator 2, there is an alien sculpture or alien-like emblem on one of the walls. So we all know that Alien and Predator are in the same universe. And then you had Freddy versus Jason. And with Freddy versus Jason, what I really liked is that they pretty much brought something into the film, the movie, where we got to see Freddy face Jason at Crystal Lake, and which is sort of on Jason's terms, and Jason faced Freddy in his nightmare as well. And I feel like, or my thought is to bring these two iconic horror characters into the to have them face off is pretty epic for anybody who grew up in the 80s with the slasher genre. It really worked, and I think especially the fight where Jason or Freddy basically is in the nightmare and he puts on the sprinklers and makes Jason turn into a small quivering child. That's what I really liked. And I also like the fact that I think the actress that played Jason's mother shows up as a hallucination that Freddy Krueger conjured up. And I feel like these would be conjured up, and he goes to the children of Elm Street to take them on. And just to see these two iconic characters in both films, I feel like is really something special. This would be a great double feature. Maybe if you did sort of maybe like you did 1 week full of the Alien and Predator movies, and marathon the Freddy and Jason films. And basically, it would be a great double feature, or maybe not a double feature, but would be a great box set for these two iconic '80s characters facing off. Well, I could see disc one being Freddy versus Jason, or Alien versus Predator, just so we can go alphabetical. And the next one would be Freddy versus Jason. And I really enjoyed the fights between them. And we got to see in Alien the face huggers that basically clogger the face of which is kind of very connected to Alien and Predator, which I think has about 4 sequels. There's Predator, Predator 2, Predators, The Predator, and I think the Prey is the television series or like TV movie based on it. But I was wondering, did you feel like Freddy vs. Jason was fun? Did you feel as if they spent too much time with the kids on Crystal Lake to really kind of, bring us into the Freddy versus Jason fight? And did you feel like Alien versus Predator, at least the first one, gave us what we wanted as 80s and 90s kids, that it really worked in the series? Or do you feel like the problem with both series is both versus films, they spent too much time building characters that we probably didn't care about? Or did you care about them? I liked both films. I feel like I think Alien versus Predator I think Freddy versus Jason is probably the more fun film, but I also think that the Alien, I do feel like they would be a great double feature. So let me know in the comments below, what were your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason and Alien versus Predator? What was your thoughts on the series? Did you like the Alien series? Did you like the Predator series? Were you a fan of the Friday the 13th series and the Nightmare on Elm Street series? Do you feel like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street got crazier and crazier? Do you feel like New Nightmare was the best one since the first one of A Nightmare on Elm Street? Did you feel like Jason X was fun when he goes to space and he has that cool cybernetic hockey mask? And these are more like, or how do you feel about the Alien prequel series? Did you like Covenant? Did you like Romulus? Do you feel like, would you like to see more Predator prequels? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe. And 1, 2, Freddy comes for you. 3, 4. Shut the door. 5, 6. Pick up sticks. 7, 8. Or I can't remember the rest of it. Anyway, I'm Steve-O, and see you at the movies. Bye.